Thank you so much.
Now, are there any chances the prosecutors could actually appeal against the acquittal on the murder charges of Oscar Pistorius?
I really can't say. That still lies with. Can you say the question again so that I don't mix up? You know.
Sorry, I was asking if there are any chances the prosecutors could appeal against the acquittal on the murder charges of Oscar Pistorius.
The defense. What is happening now is that the defense is trying to stop or to challenge the ruling. You know, the process here is you have to convince the person who made the ruling that it is. He wasn't acquitted totally, because he's still in jail for culpable homicide. So what the defense is saying is that appeal shouldn't have, or the room to appeal shouldn't have been granted in the first place by the judge, Judge Masipa, that you can only appeal and acquit.
And unfortunately, we've lost our correspondent. We'll do our best to reconnect with her, but let's check out what's happening in other parts of the world. Now, in a move which is a first in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC has launched its first strikes as part of a longer-awaited offensive against Rwandan Hutu rebels. Ministers had previously pledged to target the FDLR militants after they failed to meet a deadline to disarm last month. Some FDLR leaders have been linked to the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Their presence in DR Congo has been a key factor behind 2 decades of conflict in the region. Rwanda, led by a Tutsi-dominated government, has twice invaded its neighbor, demanding that the FDLR be disarmed. The UN mission in DR Congo recently withdrew its support for the offensive because it involved 2 government generals accused of human rights abuses. Yesterday's attack took place in the South Kivu province, which is just 10 kilometers from the border with Burundi. However, one rebel source revealed that they, and that is the rebels, had been informed of the attack in advance and had already withdrawn. In confirmation of the claim, DR Congo government spokesman Lambert Mende confirmed that troops had not met any resistance when they captured an FDLR position. However, 10 weapons have been seized. We're also looking at the DRC, and Congo is rich in minerals but has been troubled by unrest for 2 decades. However, the country is doing what it can to get back to its glory days. With the state of affairs in the country at the moment, it's an unlikely holiday destination, but agents in the region are promoting its unique rainforests and endangered species of wildlife as a must-see for tourists.
The forest of the Congo represents half of the total area of tropical rainforest in Africa, providing shelter for great apes such as the mountain gorilla and the bonobo, as well as the okapi and elephant, among other mammals and countless species of birds and reptiles. But Congo's eastern region has been plagued by recurring conflict, and Kazuzi-Biega National Park has felt the effect. Gorillas are targeted by poachers and warring sides, and many have been forced to flee the park. Tourist numbers dwindled as a result of the unrest.
From the beginning of this month up until today, we've had over 42 tourists, while 2 years ago there were 0 tourists. This shows real development, a real promotion for tourism.
With relative peace returning to the area following the defeat of the M23 rebels in 2013, Congo's government, with support from Germany, recently launched a campaign to revive tourism in the region, with gorilla viewing and trekking through the lush park as the main selling point.
The park generates revenue that will go towards improving our country, and we should also benefit the people, especially the local population. For me, working here also helps me pay school fees for my children. It also contributes to the economy of the country and helps in the running of the park.
Government officials say this is part of an initiative to turn gorilla viewing tourism into a leading source of foreign exchange. According to official figures, the park brought in around $10 million in revenue last year. The tourist activity is also a big boost for the region's economy, where millions of people struggle to provide for their families.
We're going to sensitize the people on the importance of conservation and protecting the gorillas. If they are killed, then there will be nothing left. It's important for this region and for its population.
Visitors who come here are also a vital marketing tool. They are spreading the message back home, and more people from around the world are showing a willingness to visit the region.
Now, earlier on, we were talking to our South Africa correspondent concerning the lawyers for jailed South Africa Olympic athlete Oscar Pistorius, who have launched a legal bid to prevent prosecutors from appealing against his acquittal on murder charges. Betty, thank you so much for staying on the line. Now, could Oscar Pistorius actually do less time, as is being speculated? That's less than 5 years that was given to him by the judge.
Well, it depends on the conduct. There is room within the legal system, depending on how he is considered. I know immediately after he was sentenced, we heard talk about him serving only 10 months. Last week, he was upgraded as a prisoner and granted more privileges. So nobody knows. I can't really say for sure if, he will be probably freed or he'll. But I know that just a week ago, his privileges were increased. He was upgraded as low risk.